Knock, knock, everybody. Derick Van Ness here, dropping wisdom. I am a life adventurer, wealth strategist, and investor, and I want to share some knowledge with you today. By the end of this video, you're going to understand how to pick the right investing strategy for you. Now, I want to be straight with you. I am not an investment advisor. I'm a wealth strategist. I don't sell stocks and bonds and all that kind of stuff. This is not investment advice. This is a way to think about and figure out some things that you might be the right fit for. Because listen, there's a ton of stuff out there you can be doing with your money. We want to make sure that you are doing the right things for you and your family, right? And I truly believe there's a ton of misinformation. So we're going to dig into this. I'm going to give you my thoughts on how to approach this. Think about investing better because there's a lot of misnomers, okay? So the first thing is this. This is going to sound funny, but guess what? There's more than just the stock market as a place to invest. Like people say, oh, diversify your stocks, diversify your portfolio, buy all these different companies. Guess what? All of those are stocks. That is not diversification. I mean, it's more diverse than just one stock, but that's like saying, I just bought a bunch of shoes and now I've got a diverse amount of clothes. No, you have a bunch of shoes, right? So you have a bunch of stocks or a bunch of bonds. And I just want to tell you, there's so much more to the investing world than that, and a ton of stuff that a lot of people don't even think of as investments. And so I want to start off by giving you my 3 cardinal rules of investing. The first one is invest in things you know about, right? And you may have heard me say this. Why is it important to know about where you're investing your money? Well, if you were going to put all your money or a lot of your money into something, do you think it makes sense for you to be knowledgeable and aware of what's going on with that? I think that's super, super important because guess what? Things you know about have a much higher chance of succeeding. Lower risk, higher returns, because you understand what's going on. You bring your own human life value, your own human capital to the equation. It's massive. It makes such a difference in how your results come out. Okay, so if you don't know about something, your first step, your first investment, no one will ever tell you this, your first investment is in your knowledge. Make sure that you understand it. If you want to invest in real estate, don't just go buy a bunch of real estate. Learn about how to buy real estate right, then go buy real estate. If you want to invest in the stock market, don't just blindly be putting your money in there just because your company signed you up for a 401k. Spend a couple of dollars and go learn how to invest strategically. Get an education. If you want to invest in some other types of alternatives, whether that's oil and gas or land development or cell phone towers or whatever you want to get into, understand that knowledge is super, super important. It is what allows you to change that high risk, high reward equation, right? If all you're bringing to the table is money and no knowledge, no know-how, no anything, it's hard to get a really high rate of return and keep risk low. But the more that you bring your knowledge into the equation, the more we can balance that out. Now we can lower the risk and we can raise that reward because you're smart. You know, do you think it's for Bill Gates to buy technology companies? Do you think it's risky? No, because the guy knows about them, right? But for you or I to go out and buy a technology company, if we're not experts at that, and I am not an expert at that, for me to pick the next big tech company, probably not a good idea. There's a reason that I don't do that, right? So that's the first thing, is things you know about. The second thing, and this is going to be crazy, but things you care about. If you invest in things or put your money into things that you care about, then you pay attention. Because if you care, you're learning about them, you're engaged in them, you probably have some sort of passion or connection to that. When we pay attention to things, we get better outcomes. When we don't care about things, we don't pay attention. I'll say that again. When we care about things, we pay attention and we get better outcomes. When we don't care about things and don't pay attention to them, we get worse outcomes. So you want to have things that you're going to pay attention to. If you hate the stock market, stop investing there. Don't do that. Put your money somewhere else where you can pay attention to it and you care about it. If you hate real estate, don't invest there. You won't pay attention to it, right? Invest in things you care about. And there's this whole other side conversation, which I think is equally important, and that is this idea that every dollar you spend, it's kind of like a vote, right? A lot of us voted in this last election. And no matter what side you were on, your vote mattered to try and get the things that you wanted to exist to happen, right? It's the same thing with businesses. When you spend your dollars with them, it's like a vote for them to stay in business. The businesses that you spend your money on, that you invest in, continue to grow and flourish. The businesses that you don't, or they don't get enough dollars from people either as an investor or as a client, then they go out of business. So you want to be realistic about, hey, where do I want to put my money so that it's going to create the things in the world that matter to me, right? If you care about organic food or healthy food, maybe you need to invest in stocks or companies or investments aligned with that, or farms or whatever. If you care about certain types of energy, maybe you want to invest your dollars there. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than this, but this is one of the considerations that I think a lot of people leave off the table is they just give their dollars to someone to invest in whatever they think can get the highest rate of return. And it could be that you're promoting the very things that you don't care about or don't want to persist. For example, if there's a company that's ruining the environment but turns a nice profit because basically they're doing everything cheaper and putting a bunch of pollution in the air, then you need to decide, is it more important for me to make a little extra and help ruin the environment, or do I want to take my dollars from there and put them into something that does a better job of creating the things that I want to create, cleaner energy or whatever that is. So I'm just giving examples here. There's no judgment. I just think for you to invest in things you care about will really increase your odds, and it will do more good in the world, because ultimately this isn't just about making money. This is about building a life. And the difference is, if you have a ton of money and your life sucks, then your life sucks. It doesn't matter how much money you have. But if you can create wealth while creating a life that you want to live, the two come together and you get to live your life the entire time, sleep well at night, know that you're doing good for your family, for your friends, but also for the communities and the economy and the world at large. That's just such a more powerful way to live, right? So things you know about, things you care about, and the last thing is things you control. Now, that could be a misnomer. Nobody controls everything, right? Nobody can control the economy all by themselves. Nobody can control a pandemic or other types of things. But what we can control is the things that we know about. We can have impact. So if you own a piece of real estate and it's not going well, you can't rent it, well, you can fix it up. You can change the rent. You can turn it into a short-term rental. You can redo the yard. You can change the terms. You can hire a landlord. You could do so many things to help impact that. What I hate to see is people putting stuff into things they don't know about, care about, and control. So if they put money into gold and silver and they don't know anything about it, if gold goes down, how do you impact that? You can't. Your only choices are wait it out and hope it goes back up, or sell while it's low and you've lost money, right? So that's not a great feeling. So when we deal with things that we can control, once again, that's where we can bring our knowledge to the table to increase the returns we get while keeping the risk low. So I prefer for people to generally put money into things that they can control the outcomes of. I mean, there's a place for passive investing for sure. I store money in life insurance. I have money in crypto and stocks and different kinds of things, right? But I also put a ton of money into companies I believe in. I put money into people I believe in. And more than anything, I put money back into my business and growing this cause that we're doing here to help more people get empowered. So the questions you want to ask yourself is, what do I know about, care about, and control? And if I don't know about it, I need to learn about it. If I don't care about it, it's just off the table. And if I don't have control, I need to learn how I can get better at it so I can have some control. So I know this isn't a brain-off solution, but here's the thing. Once you get involved in things that you know about, care about, and control, you can start to create a life around things that you like to do. It's not like, oh, I have to pay attention to my investments over here. It's this thing I put up with. It's like, no, I'm using my dollars to build things that I want in the world, whether that's rental communities and rental portfolios so that you can provide affordable housing for people, whether that's sustainable living and gardening, whether that's healthcare, financial services, whatever you're into, there's a way to create profits from that. The other big thing that nobody talks about is investing in yourself and your business. That is where you have ultimate control, ultimate knowledge, and ultimate caring. So if you haven't invested in yourself, I think that's the first thing you would do. Invest in yourself and your business. Build your skill set, build your relationships, join mastermind groups, take trainings, get a coach or a mentor, people who can help elevate your business, elevate your life. And from there, as you make more money, then you can set it aside and you can put more money into these other things outside of your business. But I truly believe if you haven't done that yet, that's your first thing. Beyond that, if you ask yourself, what checks the boxes for me? And then the last thing you want to consider is, what am I trying to accomplish with my investments? Am I saving for retirement? Am I trying to put my kids through school? Do I want to buy a house? Do I want to buy a second house, like a cabin or a lake house or whatever? Like, why am I saving? What is this money for? Because that's going to allow you to build the right kind of strategy. Because you can build wealth with cash flow, for cash flow. Like rentals are really good for that because they kick off cash every single month, right? There are some other strategies that are just growth. Like you put money into something like life settlements where people buy life insurance policies from people and they make a profit on that. Those types of things, you don't get a monthly payment, but you get nice growth, right? Your money goes up, but you might need to leave it in there for 5 to 7 years. Well, depending on your strategy and why you're doing what you're doing, it's going to really help you to pick that out. And then the third reason that I see a lot of people invest is for tax strategies. Most people are unaware. There are a ton of investments, especially if you're an accredited investor, which means you make at least $200,000 a year or have $1 million net worth, not including your home. If you're an accredited investor, there's a whole class out there where you can put money into things and you get a rate of return, but you also get tax benefits. And in a lot of cases, not having to pay those big 30+% in taxes adds a lot to how much that investment is worth to you. So the question is, are you looking for liquidity? Are you looking for cash flow? Are you looking for growth? Are you looking for taxes? Which combination of those is going to really help you to break down different kinds of investment options that are right for you? Once again, I'm not an investment advisor. I work with several. We have them on our team. If you have questions or you want to look at like what's out there, because that's the big thing. A lot of people know real estate, gold and silver, crypto, and the stock market. And that's pretty much it, right? There's a ton of other stuff. There's a ton of subcategories within those that can be really, really profound and powerful for you. I just had a guy on my podcast. He was talking about note investing. Maybe you know or don't know about that. We work with clients who buy farms for tax strategies or to do those kinds of things, who buy other types of land things, people who buy art and can turn that into a very profitable endeavor. There's just a ton of really cool stuff that you can do out there. If you want to find out more about it, you can always just hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know. Also, if you found this video useful so far, please smash that like button. Let us know that it's valuable. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that bell down below. It'll let you know when we do videos, and we do a couple a week. So love to have you as part of the family. I know this is a big topic and a big conversation, but I think if you can really look for things you know about, care about, and control, if you can look for things and understand what am I trying to accomplish with that, what am I saving for, what am I building for, and then you can also look at what strategies work for that. Do I need cash flow? Is that what I'm trying to do? Especially if you're in retirement, right? Or you want to continue to increase your standard of living now. Do I want to just grow? Do I need liquidity? Or can I afford to be illiquid? And then also tax strategies. You can start to put this all together and go, okay, wait, this investment fits, but this one doesn't. This one here. You can find those investments that fit who you are as an individual, where you're at in your life, where you're going, what you want to accomplish, and that align with your values as a human being, so you can keep your dollars working in a way that continues to grow the world in the way that you want it to grow. So, super big concept, but I really hope you got some value from this. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, you may want to, something to consider in this is what's going to be happening with the economy this year. If you haven't checked it out, you can check out my State of the Economy video, what's going on, what I believe is going to happen in 2021. I think you'll find that tremendously valuable because we just have a ton of stuff swirling around and a lot of people don't know how to make sense of it. I'm kind of a nerd about this stuff, so you can get my thoughts and see what I think. That may help you to shape what you think you want to invest in. Anyway, my name is Derick Van Ness. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next video.